Rave it, baby.
It's just all fucking marketing.
So you don't get higher.
No.
That blows my mind
you
because
can only get so high and then you just go to sleep.
that's how mainstream weed has gone. That would not have worked even 4 years ago because the people buying the weed would have been like, because they know about it. Potheads know all that shit. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily, not out here. I mean, a lot of people
Right.
buy
It's
into
different
it.
now.
Yeah, it's different now. But it's like if you're like a proper cannabis enthusiast,
Yeah.
then you would know. You would know, just like if you were a proper mushroom enthusiast, you would know there's different kinds of mushrooms.
That's how I know Kratom ain't gone mainstream. Because let me tell you something, buddy. If it says on that bag that it is stronger, it will fuck you up. It will put you on the ground.
I guess I don't think we've ever talked about it on here that I finally tried Kratom.
Yeah, you've done Percocets.
No, I don't
Oh,
I don't
never
like
done
that.
it?
No, I don't like Percocets. But I
You can't know that if you haven't done them. Sounds like you've done them.
just things in that vein.
Yeah.
I'm a
No,
you
you don't
know
have to put it in your vein. Just take it.
VEIN.
Oh.
No, VAYNE vein, like a weather vane.
Okay.
In the same vein. Did we start recording?
Yeah, we've just been yelling at each other. We're here. What's up, Gravy
Oh,
Babies?
hi, Gravies. Hi.
We were talking about pot.
We were. I was being a cannabis nerd about it.
So you're saying that there's this thing now where they are raising the THC level and it's technically true, but it doesn't matter?
Right. Kind of like how there would be, I mean, kind of like how they marketed indica and sativa, and that's kind of not entirely true, that like those two different kinds, those won't define the kind of highs you can have. Like you could smoke something that's more of an indica vein but still feel uplifted and still feel creative and like bubbly and shit like that, where the thought of it before and it's
There is a difference though, right?
there is a difference.
'Cause
There's a
to me,
difference
it's
kind of in the
just-
plants.
It's not creativity or none of that. It's just paranoia versus not. Sativa,
Right.
I can't sleep on it, and
Yeah.
eventually my inability to go to sleep turns to paranoia.
Yes. But you say that, but we've smoked sativa together and you've been okay
During the day?
during the day.
Yeah, that's the secret. Because I've smoked at night before having no idea what it is. And then like 2 hours later, I'm in my hotel room. I'm like, and I text, was that sativa? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not certain, but specifically in Los Angeles, because when producer Mark and I were talking, when I went to Colorado, nobody gave a shit about how much the percentage of it, but that's like a big marketing point here in California. I mean, Southern California is the worst, but it's in Northern California too, where they're like, oh, if you gotta smoke this, it's got 32% THC. Oh, you gotta smoke it with it. It's got 42% THC. And they're just trying to figure out ways to charge you more money for the fucking weed. It doesn't get you don't feel any better or whatever. Like there's an old strain, and I've said anybody in the cannabis industry that I'll get to fucking listen to me, I always tell them, bring back the old, not OG, because that is kind of the problem, is they're cloning everything with OG. So they're the OG, because the OG produces a higher amount of THC. So they're crossing everything fucking with it, so they get higher percentages. But it doesn't make a better high, huh?
Oh, it is you do get quote unquote higher. It's just not better. You're saying
Correct. So, for instance, like there's
that.
like there's an old strain called Golden Groat that you can only find in the Pacific Northwest. It always tests around 21%, and it's a fucking delightful high. I think that's the other thing too, is I don't know that everybody that's smoking cannabis, especially now because we're fucking adults who's been on the journey with cannabis through this, is like not everybody wants to get fucking obliterated. Some of us have kids. Some of us have a job. Some of us work from home and still have to go to a meeting in an hour and a half. Like whatever the case is, you don't need to be fucking comatose whenever you do it.
Yeah. Give me dirt weed. I've been saying it.
Well, that's the thing, is dirt weed used to be all stomped on, so there wasn't very many trichomes on the actual buds by the time you got it. Now you could get it with all the trichomes, all the loveliness. It's not stomped on. You're not smoking the leaves. You're still smoking beautiful buds, and you just get to feel good. So it's less because when you smoke the plant matter and shit like that, it fucks, it's just like smoking anything else. It's just more smoke. right, DJ?
Well, I don't really know anything about how they do stuff now. I had an interesting, like I was working at a weed farm up in Humboldt County, and right, but this was like right when I got out of prison. It was actually one of my first jobs, and I didn't even really like grow weed. Like I didn't even smoke weed then because I was still on parole. But I worked at but I worked at the farm because I knew everybody did. You trim and stuff like that and stuff like that. But there was like it wasn't near. It was still illegal, you
Mm.
know. And 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 so I know that culture exists, but for the most part, it's all goddamn how you fat hooters and hog legs. You know what I'm saying? That's like two strains. With two strains of it. I don't know nothing about uh but I guarantee if it's gone through any type of what is our marketplace today, yeah, they're bullshitting folks. They're adding percentages and fucking lying to you about goddamn, why wouldn't they? That's exactly what they do to everything else. They're probably spying on you through the weed. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, that's what that's why you're so paranoid. That's why motherfuckers so paranoid.
Let me look at it. Let me look at it up close.
It's made my weed Facebook.
Do you hear me?
Getting all your info. Yeah, you know how they do.
Made my weed my Facebook. I mean, we are getting high off social media. They might as well be spying on us the way we're getting high.
Might as well
so
be.
Funny, dude.
I'm just annoying. I mean, like, at the same time, like, I know because research is slow going with it, like, they're telling things as we know it, and people are just 3 or 4 years behind on the science of it, which is also fine. It's just my criticism is, hey, man, not everybody wants this. You're marketing to one particular kind of cannabis user.
Well, yeah.
And that's the shit that's annoying to me.
Yeah.
And the science, as far as this, and the science is being led by the market, right? So they're thinking, however they're going to sell it and pitch it is where the science is going. It's all capitalism it's annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to these types of things.
And I went to this like Cheech and Chong kind of event thing, and I met a weed scientist there, and I had this conversation with him, and he's like, "I've been saying this to anyone who will listen to me as well."
So there's two possibilities here, maybe three. From the marketing perspective, you guys are right, and they're missing it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you guys are wrong in that there aren't as many of you as you think.
Sure.
Or the third possibility is they know they've got you.
Dude,
they know you're coming they know you're coming to the store to get the stuff you want.
Sure.
So they're trying to. It's kids, right? Like new clients are 22. I think they probably have figured out a way to make money quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not sustainable over time, but I think it probably, in their opinion, the marketers, they're hearing you say this and they're going, sales increased 500% last month, bitch. You don't know shit. You know, like, they don't care about your experience. That's not who they are. They care about selling more weed. Like, I guess that's what I'm asking you. I'm not saying that's true. Do you think it's working in terms of sales?
There's enough room for that and the other things.
I agree. I just don't think they're marketing the other things.
Sure.
They don't have to market your thing. You look for it. Or is it not there anymore?
No, it's
You're
not
showing
there.
up and it's
That's
gone?
what I'm saying. Like, that's the strain that I'm
dumb.
talking about. The old strains, like Granddaddy Perps, the fucking Golden Goat was one of them. You know, like the old, what was another one? Fucking, remember Blue Cheese? Producer Mark? Blue Cheese. Like, there was all these old strains that I remember vividly, and I remember the experience of them, and they all dwindled out because they only were thinking about the quick money.
Right.
And but then you're also disregarding a huge market base in the sense of how many times have you ever heard anybody say, "Oh man, I can't smoke that. The weed the kid smokes way too strong. I can't smoke that. Way too strong." It's just you don't like OG Kush, and they put that shit in fucking everything now.
My only other theory then is that they think, they're probably wrong about this, that doing it your way will, yes, attract different people, but lead to less money because I would say varying their farms is expensive. I could be wrong about that. Isn't it like, you know
You
what I mean?
think 22-year-olds got more money than a 40-year-old?
Oh, no, of course not. As I said, I think they might be wrong, but my
Yeah.
guess is like varying the farm.
Yeah.
Like is difficult. DJ, you know about crops.
I don't
Would
know.
it be hard to grow?
They're doing them in warehouses and shit. Why can't one room just be a different strain?
My guess is they think the
100%.
My guess is they think
that's
OG
crazy.
pineapple is going to make a fuck ton of money because we can mark it up because it's 23% and the
Sure.
kids are going to buy it. And there is a market for this other stuff, but I don't want to waste a warehouse on it because it's going to make me less money. I think they're probably wrong about
A warehouse.
She said they're growing them in warehouses.
Oh, so that you could easily, instead of like outdoor grows. I mean, everybody prefers indoor now. But that's the other thing too. I smoke plenty of outdoor. Fucking great. I don't understand. I just don't see the fucking problem.
I would be
outdoors.
freaked out. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people and they make their own dabs and they make all their own. I know of people who do this because I watched them on Instagram, really, but I know them personally too. You know what I'm saying? And so
Oh
I've
yeah, we
asked
got
them
a gravy
questions,
baby that does it. What's his name? Jay.
for sure, J Doke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
J
for sure.
Doke.
He's all
Jay Doke,
about
fucking
it.
weigh
Yeah,
in
so
on this. Gravy baby.
weigh in on
that
it.
gravy baby.
And
He's been
and-
screaming for the last 10 minutes.
I know.
And now he's like, finally, they brought me up. So,
yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He
Oh, but
knows
go
all
ahead.
about
Go
it.
ahead. What were you saying? What's the point?
No,
know
I
these people that do this.
discussed. Oh no, but he doesn't do it for a company. And so like whatever way these companies are doing it, he does it as an individual grower. And he works with other individual entities, you know what I'm saying? Whatever these big companies are doing, it's probably bad. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's probably bad and it's probably the wrong way. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that ahead of time.
Yep.
Across the board.
19 times out of 20, dude. Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Well, they're dictating though. They're dictating and making it harder for smaller growers.
Of course
because
they are.
the
Of
seeds
course
of
they
those
are.
strains and stuff are harder and harder to find
I
in order for
Of
them to
course it
cultivate
is.
them. So it's just
Of course.
it's annoying.
I saw like a thing on
Yeah.
Facebook the other day, speaking of people who grow. It was like Kellogg's
Mm-hmm.
found out back in the day that poor people were using their burlap sacks to make their children's clothes when they were buying all the like wheat and seeds or whatever from them. So then they started putting floral prints and nicer prints on the sacks
Nice.
so the poor kids would have nicer clothes. It is nice. It's like really an example. And it's like the post was like, why don't companies do this type of thing anymore? And I get it and I get the sentiment and I agree with it, but it struck me as odd because I was like, dude, literally this is all a company has to do. To like be treated like they're a fucking hero,
Yeah,
is
to
just
be
change the
considerate.
bags,
Mhm.
and then and we can't even get that from them. So I have circling back to this as weed culture becomes, because they're owned by companies now too. I mean, you guys probably know that, you're probably aware, but like all these like Strange and Snoop Dogg and all that, it's starting to get like everything else where like 6 companies own all that shit.
Yeah.
Sure, of course.
So yeah, it's bad.
I mean, that was my criticism of the bill in Florida is I was like, oh, you want us to sign off on 3 to 6 companies having an entire monopoly on the entire industry for the whole state? This is fucking
Very
trash.
Florida of you. Very Florida of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, Florida. Why you Florida?
Can't believe you Florida. Yeah.
I know.
There's an analogy to be drawn with the microbrew movement, which is the same exact thing but with lamer people.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I said that fucking years ago. I
Well,
was like,
it was-
the more it
for
gets
sure.
legalized, I go, the more people like, because people are like, oh, people talk about beer the same way they talk about wine, and I go, and then pretty soon they're gonna talk about weed the same way they talk about beer and wine. It was like, the more you
Yeah.
get it, the
And
more you can be a
yeah.
snob about it.
Well, it wasn't just the snobbery with the beer people. It was also the stuff you were talking about. So I used to be one of them. I'll own that completely. America used to have no beer options.
Yeah.
And then you like go to Europe and towns would have their own brewery and they'd have like good beer. And he was like, holy shit, why aren't we doing this in America? And we did. And it was awesome for about 3 years. And then we fucking Americanized it. And a few different things happened. One, related to what you were talking about with the weed percentages, is they figured out that their IPAs would sell really well because it's American assholes.
want to get fucked up the quickest.
It was that, and also
Give me that 9%. Give me that 12%.
it was that. It was also
I can drink 7 of these. Half a bottle in their fucking shit house.
that was part of it. I think a bigger part of it was you didn't have to actually be a beer snob to act like one if you drank the hoppiest beer.
Mhm.
And you didn't have to actually learn how to make good beer if you just made really hoppy IPAs.
Mhm.
You could have all of that shit of like, you're drinking Bud Light? I drink the fucking Eliminator IPA. And then you put it in your mouth and it tastes like fucking pine tar.
Yeah.
And also the guy
dude.
making it learned how to make it in 6 fucking months because all he did was extra dry hop it over and over again.
Mhm.
It took no art. And it actually
Dude,
took...
you ever seen that?
Go ahead.
You ever seen how they do amber bock? They just scrape all the sludge off the bottom of the barrel and got this.
Gross.
This is great. Ooh, I love being nice. Oh,
Fucking
Jesus
gross.
Christ,
I knew a guy that used
dude.
to drink Amberbach, and I just never. I was like,
Oh.
this tastes disgusting.
Nothing wrong with an amber
Oh,
buck. Nothing wrong with it.
of course.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get your sludge right, of course. So,
Caca.
so that happened where instead of having a local brewery that used like, I don't know, local ingredients or whatever, or local tastes, or it was just like hop, because it was easy. And it was easy for people who wanted to be snob dickheads to be like, I drink hops.
Mm.
And then that was now, instead of having an actual like robust market where you could get different beers, it was that or the weirdest fucking shit you can imagine.
Well, yeah,
Again,
that
because it
was the-
required no skill.
Right.
Like, who the fuck wants to drink a hot pepper lemonade fucking jalapeno beer?
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's the people trying to be creative, but I think with that, then the surge in people getting away from that, people making sours, people like really trying to branch out the other way, where like there was a rebellion against the IPA movement.
Well,
Because
I was
so
about to say,
much of it.
sour is the only positive thing I can think of the American brewery movement has allowed us to have, because then what happened is the ones who were doing it well, and you can't blame them for this. I guess you can on some level, but it's obvious what happened. Like Odell's in Colorado, they sold to Budweiser for like $550 million. They started that company with a $2 million loan. There were like 4 of them.
Wow.
Of course they sold. And Budweiser's like, we're going to do it the same. And they do to a certain extent, but now it is just market driven, as you guys were talking about. So that is what's happening with weed right now. The only thing holding it back is that since it's federally illegal, there's a smaller pool of venture capitalist fuckheads willing to go into it. And by the way, as soon as it's federally legal, it's over for you hoes. It's going to get way worse.
Oh, I know. That's why I wanted to get into the mushroom market before that went legal as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to have the same kind of thing, especially with how they're learning because it's become a little bit more legal. They're learning what more and more psilocybin can do if it's administered with niacin because since what I know
they just figured that out.
Well, like you could stack them like because all the other positive attributes that are coming from other mushrooms, like you got lion's mane and then the cordyceps and all of that other shit, which is just good for brain function. That it doesn't have any kind of psychoactive ingredients, but it just improves memory, improves all this other shit, and makes your little synapses fire off. If you can combine that with psilocybin and be able to dose it out correctly, then it ends up becoming real medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Real medicine, and can counteract some of the other weird shit that that we consume that fucks up our brain.
Yeah, it lets you reset your neural pathways, which my understanding is like one of the most powerful tools imaginable for a psychologist or a psychiatrist trying to help somebody.
DJ, when are you gonna start growing mushrooms?
Hmm?
When are you gonna start growing mushrooms on the
Allegedly, when are you gonna start growing mushrooms on the farm?
Allegedly.
I mean, dude, this is the valley of mushrooms. Like, I don't have to grow them. Like, dude, this is like,
But how do you
dude,
gotta
this
get
is
the right
that's cool.
ones?
Bruh. Let me tell you something. This is the Nantahala. We are surrounded by like river like rats and like, dude, it's the culture the culture out here is fine. We're great.
He right. He right. and we were talking about this one time, maybe on here even, but like it is like the things we're talking about that can also get very marketed, but like it's a little too grimy to get completely ruined. It's like at the end of the day, rich guy, you could come in here and float the cool part of the Nantahala, but like you ain't living here, dog.
Yeah.
Nah, you ain't. That's for sure, dude. It's a totally different
River rats, dude. God,
yeah,
those girls got hepatitis. Hell yeah.
They're lawless, lawless Dixons of the river.
Woo! You ever been hit with a paddle?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? What is it? Amanita muscaria? You ever fuck with that one, Carmen?
No.
So it's the one where if you take it without putting it in something acidic, it will fuck you up bad and potentially kill you if you take enough of it. But if you put in some acidic, it breaks down the thing that's real bad. It's not psilocybin. I don't remember what drug it is, but it is one also, supposedly, no one's figured out how to grow it. They find it, and then they try to cultivate the spores, and they
don't know where it came from or anything.
Can't figure it out.
Yeah, it's
and
wild.
Andy got pretty into it when she was going through some stuff, and because it's like really intense. Like, it's not a trip. I really don't know how to explain it. I've only done it once, and it was mild, but it was wild.
Mild wild.
Yeah, mild wild. It was mild wild.
That's DMT too.
That's kind of what it reminded me of.
Is it that intense as DMT?
Like smoking DMT, which isn't intense.
Yeah.
It did remind me of DMT actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I'm gonna get Andy on some stuff for you. I'm gonna let you try it. You need to talk to the ancestors.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
I know. She froze some of it and put it in ice cubes, and then we put it in our tea. Oh man, then we'd have sex.
So you needed acidic and like a fruit juice, like a citric acid, or like how acidic?
I think it needs to be a citric acid. You'd have to ask Andy, and I think the issue is you'll get really nauseous if one thing don't break down, and then if you do a fuck ton of it, you'll die. But if you break it down, you're fine. I don't know. I don't be listening to stuff like that. I trust Andy and like DJ if he told me something like that, and that's it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't fuck with nobody else.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
For sure.
Doesn't that area, DJ, don't they make a lot of the money from those assholes that go to try to ride on the river?
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yep.
It's a whole thing. Yep, the whole thing I was doing about deliverance. I mean, that's mainly what it was about. It's like how it pretty much exposed river culture to the rest of the world. When they first started when the movie came out, there was actually this huge. It was called the Deliverance Syndrome, where people were going out to the river and just drowning in it. You know what I mean? Because after they seen the movie, they want to go tame the wild. And then around here, you had because they were coming in and using the water and taking up the land, they'd be shooting at people on the side of they'd be on the side of the river waiting for the people to come down and start shooting at them.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah, dude, it's a problem. It's a fucking problem. But now, they've been able to develop land and develop and bring all these people in, and they're just destroying it. They're spending so much money. Anyways,
I guess I was wrong. They are going to ruin it.
Yeah. No. But the river kids are great, and they're always great, and they're always so respectful, and they know what time it is, and like you're caught between these companies, which some of the companies are not that bad, honestly, and they do the right thing. They keep the amount of people that they need to keep off the river, so they're very respectful of that. They're very respectful of being able to keep everything clean, keeping the nation not going in there and disrupting ecosystems and stuff. There are companies who are mindful of that, but then there's also companies who aren't, and so it's a fight. It's a struggle up here.
It seems like that part of the country would be easier. Why doesn't everybody rally together to bully the bad companies?
Rich people.
Oh, because they got money. Got it.
Yeah. So you go out there and fight them, but then you just end up in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like so there's a lot of conservation activists here. There are a lot of really good. There's also a lot of good forest people, and I know we've had the ACAB conversation, but I do want to say that there are forestry people who are very, 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 very good at their jobs and very so, and keeping the ecosystems alive and being aware of that. But at the same time, you're fighting super rich people in Jeeps who want to go destroy, who don't care anything about anything.
I can't speak on that area, but to speak to your question, we're going to where I'm from. It's a lot of you're talking about Jeeps. Two of the biggest places in America, like most popular in terms of visitors per year, where people do 4x4 recreationally. It's in Andes County and then one county over. And it's a similar battle. And also they're moving in and buying up land. It's like the early stages of what DJ's talking about, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the answer to your question there is we imagine a scenario like that, or I did. I used to, even being from there, of like these outsiders are coming in, they're extracting our resources and our wealth. We got to stop them. That is not the vibe at all in Andy's hometown. This guy, Mark Love, I'll say his fucking name, he has made a killing off of those people coming in. And then plenty of people in the town are like, this is great. And then plenty of other people are like, but it's not helping the town. It's just helping Mark. Also, they need to pay taxes because they're tearing up our roads, not to mention that they drive through town and late at night, and these things are not street legal and they're very loud. So in other words, there's no coalition in the town that can fight these rich people.
If Mark set up a fund and started a conservation effort with part of the money that he's making, I mean, that's how you do that. Longevity is you go, hey, I know I'm fucking things up right here, but I'm going to take this money and I'm going to contribute it back to the roads being fixed. But that's how you do that. That's how you make capitalism work in that regard.
You remember when we were talking last week about how her family has two feuds and we just talked about the old one, not the ongoing one?
Oh, there's
it's with Mark Love.
Got it.
He is the worst person.
That's good to hear.
He's probably the third worst person that I've known of, like interacted with personally. There was the guy who owned slaves in Australia. There was this girl in law school who I think has murdered people. And then there's Mark.
What were you saying, DJ?
Oh, no, these are all Trump era policies of land development in different recreational and different things like this, where and commercial stuff that just no one. People are making, land developers are making tons of money, just like Mr. Love.
So what's the end goal? Is to
make money,
turn the river into Gatlinburg?
There's no end goal. There's the goal of now of making a bunch of money.
Yeah. God damn.
Does nobody plan for the future though? I mean, like,
there is no future. They're gonna leave America. And we're gonna be here fighting over fucking dirty water. We really should have took you into the biscuit a couple times.
So sad.
I think a lot of rich-ish people mistake themselves for billionaires in the sense that they think this stuff can't touch them. And it will take longer. They are correct in some sense. You know what I mean? Right now it's affecting very poor people in Flint or in West Virginia. Then it will get to another class, and you know what I'm saying? Trickle down economics don't work, but trickle up bullshit, the shit floats.
Yeah, dude.
Do you think that like I feel like a tourist trap is like something that is incredibly American.
Amsterdam?
Dude, Ireland's got a fucking whole gas station dedicated to Obama.
Yeah, but that's funny.
Are you serious?
Because the only reason they did it is his last name seems Irish.
Oh, really?
That's the only reason they were like, he's Irish, Obama. That was the whole joke.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God. That is funny. That's hilarious.
Now I want to go to a gas station in Ireland.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to me?
I love them.
I mean, I do think his reputation internationally was a lot more stellar at the time. Do you know what I mean?
At that time.
I think they were like, oh, this guy's cool, but he's Irish, right? Like that was the whole joke.
That's
that guy's
great.
Irish.
I'm so glad to hear that.
I want to go to Ireland to go to an Obama gas station.
Yes.
I'm down for for those things. But okay, so I haven't been to Amsterdam. Is it really like it's like that?
There's half and half because you gotta think there's like a lot of museums there and a lot of art, and then the fact that the city's so old, the reality of the city mixed with the museums and the art is amazing. Like that's undeniable.
Right.
You're looking at a fucking Monet, then everyone's on a bike. There's the canal, fucking some dude with a long ass poles going by. Oh, hello. Fuck yeah, dude. But like the red light district and then with the pot culture, it's like Gatlinburg for weed.
Wow.
I mean, it really is.
Oh,
It's not, there's nothing like culture about it. It's all marketing.
God, it's
so
hideous.
it's just Gatlinburg for weed and pussy.
I would say women being objectified even more than pussy because there's way more people. I did it too. In retrospect, I did it with Andy. Let's walk through the red light district. You're not going to spend any money. Like, what the fuck? You're just being a weird tourist. Now,
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference in that and like going to see what it's about and like participate. Like,
sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
you're right,
I'm
you're
sure the
right.
women who
Yeah.
work there, as long as they're being treated fairly by the people who own the buildings, love that it's a tourist trap because plenty of
Sure.
dudes go there not to participate.
And then end up participating.
Yeah, and then 4 blocks
hey,
later,
babe, you go to that Anne Frank
Oh my
museum.
God.
I'm gonna stay back.
dude.
I'm gonna go look at the windmills for a while.
Here's the story. I watched the entire Michigan Alumni Basketball Association peer pressure a man into cheating on his wife
Oh my God! What the fuck?
while on my honeymoon. So we're walking around and we see these dudes, giants, like all these giant tall men in Michigan gear. And I'm like, hey, what's up? We're from the States. And they're like, yeah, we're part of the basketball, whatever. They're like drinking at a bar. The next night, we're in the red light district and I see them. And there's a dude talking to a woman in the red light district. There's like a red door with the glass. And he's talking to her and they just start chanting his name. I think it was Benny. I feel like that doesn't sound right.
Oh my
But like, who's
God.
named Benny anymore? But I feel like it was Benny, 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 Benny. And he was like, if you're watching on the internet, if you're not watching on the internet, I'm doing like he's looking at them like, guys, and I can't hear what he's
Guys,
saying.
come on. I'm married. I gotta do. Come on.
And then he goes in.
Oh no.
They erupt in glee. And then you watch them all just get awkward as a group of like,
Yeah, because
yeah, he's in there fucking her. You know what I mean? And then they're just kind of like looking around. And then I may have made this up in my head, but like I feel like they all called their wives right then.
yeah.
Like they all just started getting phones out, except for one dude who stayed by the door, who was clearly in love with Benny,
yeah.
who was like still like, fucking Benny's in there, dude. And everyone's like, yeah, this is bad. We
what
should
did
not
we
have
do?
done this.
Yeah, that fucking like realization of what you were.
When he walks out with shame all over his face, and then you don't cheer on the, you know what I mean? You cheered him on the way
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's yeah. I've been
But if
in them
Benny's
situations. Not
smart,
that
and he
specific.
might be, I'm going to give Benny the benefit of the doubt that he went in there and he
in. Benny
paid
benefits.
Benny benefits. I'm going to give it Benny benefits. He went in there and he just had a chat.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, you
He
surprised
got in
a
there
lot
and
of
and he freaked out.
Yeah, he was like, I'm so sorry.
Can you tell
I'm gonna
my
pay
friends?
You.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Could you?
If they ask,
I'm going to pay you to lie.
Yeah. If they ask,
Yeah.
I came everywhere. If they say, did he come on? Just say yes.
Because what do you do? Especially, oh my God, being a people pleaser in that regard,
Yeah.
that would have definitely been my move. If you have everybody chanting for you to do something you definitely don't want to do,
Yeah.
you know.
I saw my cousin flash a
Oof.
frat party full of dudes I know she hated
Mm.
because they booed her when she said no.
Oh
They were
my
like,
God,
boo! Now she was like, I'll show you. I was like, you didn't win that one.
you didn't win. Yeah,
So you're right. That's what happened. He gave in.
he gave in by going in, so
Mhm.
he just had to pay to not fuck that lady.
Yep.
Good job, Benny.
Good job, Benny.
Benny, don't cheat on your wife. Benny.
Me and my wife, my new wife, talked to one girl, and that was it. That's all we did. We talked, and then we gave her €20 because I was like, we wasted her time. Then we had sex in a peep show. That ruled. Okay, there's parts of Amsterdam that's cool, but it's Gatlinburg. Like, you can have fun in Gatlinburg. If you've never been to a Buffalo Wild Wings with a tourist from the Midwest, you haven't lived in America.
Man, that was like I thought Gatlinburg was cool when I was a child.
It is cool when you're a child.
But then
Well,
again,
yeah, when you're a kid, it's rad.
to be fair though, when I was a child, it was not what it is now.
That's also true.
It was just mainly chapels.
I can still have a blast there.
Yeah.
It's just like you've sucked what's great about this area out, distilled it into a marketing campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just cycling idiots through.
Yeah. I remember when I went because it was on the impromptu vacation that my dad in a manic episode showed up on a Tuesday and was like, we're going north to find snow, and then we just drove through the mountains. No map. It was just very up. It was when I was telling you we went to Lookout Mountain.
Yeah, I've heard this story before. I always think
But
not
then
worth
past
it, but I
that-
do wish it would have happened to me.
Past that.
Yeah.
We went past that and we went to Gatlinburg, and they were
It's
like,
over.
mm-hmm. So we went there. It was the first time I'd ever all I ever wanted to do when I was a kid in a hotel is because I saw it on TVs. I wanted to order room service.
Yeah.
Probably from Pretty Woman, because that breakfast always looks so fucking badass.
Yeah.
You know?
And she made it. That's when she knew she made it.
Yeah, dude. There's a continuity error in one scene. She's eating a pancake, raw dog and a pancake. And then the next scene, it's a croissant. Just in case, go back and watch it. They fucked up. But anyways, I went there. And then what was cool about it is because it wasn't so built up, behind our little motel, there was like this creek and there was like fucking 20 ducks.
They still got that.
20 ducks
Yep.
back there. You couldn't
Yep.
get me to leave the goddamn hotel room. All I wanted to do was feed the fucking ducks.
Well, and that's why people keep coming.
Yeah.
They have not, they didn't dam up the river or anything that dumb.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a nightmare getting in there with the fucking traffic.
The traffic is horrendous.
You cannot go out to eat at a nice restaurant. I don't even know if they exist anymore. If they do, you couldn't find it because there's just fucking lights. It's Vegas-y.
Yeah.
But that river still rules.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Rivers
shit was
rule,
cool.
man.
Like, he was like, we're supposed to go see all the stuff. And I was like, fuck off, dude. I got my duck friends.
Yeah, you got tricked.
Yeah.
You didn't get tricked.
No.
I wouldn't drink the water now, but it's still flowing through.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's
Mhm.
dirty. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was the whole thing is, I
Oh
remember.
no, it's
Go ahead.
totally full of MRSA. It's totally full of MRSA and E. coli and everything else.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Ooh, gross. That's poop.
Yeah, that is poop. But I remember it vividly only because we were driving through the mountains and my mom has a fear of heights. And, you know, on some of those roads, they don't have the guardrails. So she's just looking out the window and seeing straight down and seeing the tops of trees and fucking freaking out. And I'm in the back seat just laughing because my mom's scared. And I think that's so funny. I don't know why. Jesus fucking Christ, Army, we gotta go on a vacation. And now we're gonna fucking die when he's backwards. If we get pulled up, if we get stopped, don't talk. I don't want you to fucking get. My dad's Latin. Fucking,
Yeah.
she's like, don't fucking, these fucking backwoods people, they're gonna kill us. They're gonna fucking kill us. No, she's freaking out, just terrified. And then we turn a corner and it's just nothing but bright ass fucking lights because it was Gatlinburg and it was like it was still, I want to say it was like February or March, so it was still had
That's so
all
funny.
the festival. And my mom was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is this?" So she went from being like terrified to immediately relieved.
It's so funny to think of these backwoods motherfuckers can't even fucking read. They're gonna get cornholed in the woods by some deliverance motherfucker. She rounds the corner and it's just Las Vegas,
I know, it's
but
fucking
with
terrifying.
no sin.
Yeah.
Your
Because
dad's
it
the one
was
who's
all
disappointed.
chapels. I know. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck is
It's
this?"
pretty. Thought it was gonna be grimy.
You know what? That's another thing about Gatlinburg that I don't like is that like Las Vegas is Las Vegas, and it kind of has this the idea it where it is kind of manic. It's all kind of like the same thing. Whereas fucking Gatlinburg's just all over the fucking place. Its personality is like I don't know how to explain it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's
much
not
like
consistent.
destiny.
Like it doesn't make sense.
There's no
Right.
congruency.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a
Right.
lack of
There you go.
zoning. It's
There you go.
because the regular mob built Vegas,
Mhm.
and the Italian
Right.
mob, the Dixie Mafia, the Good Old Boys, and the Irish mob all tried to fucking do their hand in Gatlinburg. Not to mention, when you talk about Gatlinburg, you're really talking about Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge is the town at the bottom of the hill. Gatlinburg is the
Right.
town at the top of the hill. It's literally a lower class, higher class
Yeah,
situation.
it is. Sure.
But there's money to be made everywhere. So it just
Right.
I can't describe it either, DJ, but I can explain it by saying that over decades, this place changed and morphed into Vegas for Christians. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Vegas was much more planned out because it was like an empty space and we're trying to do a thing.
Yeah.
Gatlinburg
Right.
started to happen kind of naturally, and then people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially when you
Yeah,
have like when
just-
you got a lot of hands in the pot, so to speak,
Yeah.
then it's just going to
Right.
be everybody's idea of what it's going to be. I get it.
Because you got that's also like old school moonshine money up there too.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And then like actual Christians, not just people who are trying to sell stuff to them, but like weirdo rich Christians who like
Yeah.
really, you better not even bring beer onto my property. And it's nuts because
Yeah.
you're like, there's a coke fueled orgy happening 500 feet from here. I know there is.
Yeah.
So it's a weird place.
It is just a weird place.
That is disappointing about Amsterdam. I mean, Gatlinburg too, because I remember when I was a
But-
kid, there wasn't anything really that tall. There wasn't any
Yeah.
tall buildings or anything. Again, it was literally just a bunch of chapels.
But you would have a blast in Amsterdam now. Understand that I was like 25. I didn't know anything about it other than what I'd been told. We were there for a day and a half or 2 days. Walking around during the day, I mean, it is one of the coolest cities on earth in a way that I'm not gonna say can't be ruined, but hasn't been ruined by that other stuff.
Mm.
It's just that if you think it's like this not wild, but like this interesting alt weed horror thing, it's not that at all. It's a bunch of boring fucking Dutch people, but they're on bikes. They got cute little coffee shops. The canals are unbelievable. Like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'd have a better time there now. That's it. It feels like it's for 25-year-olds. It's not. It's for 40-year-olds.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't ruin it. They just, the thing that we think is bad.
Gotcha. So it's not like, so it's kind of like what Bourbon Street is for booze, but for pot and
That's a pretty
prostitutes.
good analogy too, because it's like if you've been on vacation in New Orleans and you never really left Bourbon, you have no idea what New Orleans is like, and you think it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking good analogy. It's just not as obvious because booze people are so obvious. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's no one
Yeah.
vomiting on a pair of 50-year-old titties in
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Be a whole lot cooler if they were, brother.
I mean, honestly, you're right. Because one of my issues was too. We were trying to party. They all go to bed at like 1. There's like and I know. Look, this was years ago. I'm certain now because of EDM culture, you can party all night in Amsterdam because it's Europe.
Ugh.
Dude, back then, like the bars closed at midnight because nobody drank. So we were to have beers, and they were like, "Nah." We went
Yeah,
home.
imagine if a city full of cannabis, you're gonna smoke yourself to sleep at some point.
Right.
Sure.
That's my point. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, at some point you're just gonna smoke yourself to sleep. Like,
Yep.
yup.
What's the biggest disappointment in terms of what you thought it was going to be versus what it was? I think for me, and it's because of my age, it was Orlando, Florida.
I mean, I was raised there, so
Yeah. I was like, kids go to Orlando, they come back, they had an awesome time. It was the biggest hotel they've ever seen. And then they ate a buffet, which I barely knew what that was. That was back before Shoney's did it. They just had the salad bar.
yeah.
So like, I was like, Orlando, you know? And I was like 8 or 9. I just remember being there and being like,
I think it's
Fuck this
because
place.
you think Orlando is the theme park when you're that little.
yes. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah. So you think that's what you think Orlando is the animal kingdom and
Right.
Epcot.
And we
like,
went for like 5 days and then
Mhm.
just did Disney the last day. And the
Mm.
first 4 days were trash.
Yeah.
There's no fucking good beaches.
That's why
around.
they got get the 3-day pass. They
Yeah.
want you to stay there because that's the part that's remarkable. I mean, that's part of my criticism of them is that like again, it goes back to the love guy. If you took some of the money and reinvested it into the city,
Mhm.
then the people that live there wouldn't hate you so much.
But Disney's literally
Yeah.
Disney's literally not allowed to do that because as a corporation, that would hurt their bottom line. Which is that to me in a nutshell. If you like want me to just like do a milk toast critique of capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we've made it to where leaders of companies will get in trouble if they do something like that. They'll get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah, that to me sounds like the burlap sack.
I know. They were allowed to do it back then. They weren't public. We didn't have
We
all
used to
these-
be a proper country.
We used to be a proper country.
Mm.
Cut to a black person.
Jesus.
What?
I've been doing this joke, and people are really enjoying it about the were you raised by back in my day parents, and everyone's like, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, have you noticed how they stopped saying that? It's because they know you'll fucking get them. Like they could say that when we were 8.
Sure.
It was harder on them to be 8 than it was us. We're watching Animaniacs marathon. We got
Mhm.
fucking Captain Crunch dribbling down our face.
Mhm.
They're like, "Well, I had to go to the mines. Your father, anyway, I won't do the whole bit." And now in our 30s, they're like, "Well, back in my day, you're like, what? Gas was $3 a gallon or $2?"
Yeah.
Try 99 cents,
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Try 99 cents.
God.
Well, I was doing that joke.
Mhm.
And then I made eye contact with a black person like the 4th time I was doing it. And he was like, and I was like, fuck, it only works for white people, huh?
You know what people also stopped saying is this is a free country.
Oh, shit, they did.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I go, nobody fucking says it's America. It's a free country because we fucking know it's
In
not.
our heart, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody will even throw it out there anymore.
Yeah, but most people will be like, yeah, because the internet cancels everybody. They think that's why it's not free anymore.
Man,
Because somebody wrote a blog.
get the fuck out of here. Dude.
Pussies.
Get the fuck out of here. Can we stop talking? Nobody's blogging anymore. Why is that? This is like such a dated term. I heard another comedian.
Because I don't think we know what else to say but the posts. Because
Yeah.
if you post a clip to an article, we don't call it a blog. That's what you're doing.
And I think what it is, it's also to demean a lot of the articles that have
Yeah,
been written
I
by
agree.
calling them blog.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
blogs.
imagines someone's running a blog. I think they're like, you wrote an article that got put on fishsticks.com about a comedian
Yeah, I think
who's
that whole,
hosting SNL. You're stupid. I'm
Yeah.
calling you a blogger.
Yeah.
Right.
I
What,
get it
DJ?
in that you don't want it to.
That's
get
where it really went bad, right? Was with not Ari Spears, but fuck, what was his name? He was in 30 Rock. Jesus Christ.
Tracy Morgan?
Yeah. And there was a blogger that went out and then everybody like quoted the blogger for some reason or whatever. Wasn't that? Is it, or am I making that up?
I don't
don't
remember
remember.
it and still fully believe you. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it, like that kind
Yeah.
of thing was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And our inability to remember it highlights that issue.
Yeah.
It
Right.
changed America, and to us, it was just like this weird Tuesday.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think it was when we started getting loosey goosey with credibility.
I think it's
Oh, yeah.
well. I think that happened because we started to realize people we really, really adored lacked it.
Well,
Yeah.
that and Twitter. When CNN's quoting
Right.
users on Twitter.
Trey used to have a joke about that, and I don't remember any of the joke but he just said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see what Queefer Sutherland 69 has to say about the deficit."
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Fucking
major
murdered
joke
me,
there is you
dude.
have to fucking quote a ridiculous handle.
We're gonna
Queefer
see what
Sutherland
Queefer Sutherland
69
69 thinks
Man,
about
I'm
the
so
deficit.
mad I don't have that moniker. I would love to be Queefer Sutherland 69.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice tag. I mean, side note, he's clearly a genius. How the fuck did he think of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he does know about the economy. I mean, dude, now we're not even doing it with Twitter. Kid Rock goes on Fox in a fucking wife beater and a fedora to discuss policy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Even if you like
He
Kid
might
Rock,
as
that's
well.
insane.
He might
Of
as
course
well.
he might as well. It's working
What's
for
the
him.
difference between him and the rest of these motherfuckers? They're all dumb. People act
And
like
it's
it
all
takes
theater.
a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be different if we were just talking to experts anymore. People that
Yeah.
went to school to this. And,
Well, where we fucked up there, and I've been thinking about this too, is like you've got to be famous to be anything now. You've got to have some clout. And so like experts started losing jobs to people who weren't as experted. I don't know how to say that. Didn't have as much expertise because those people had like more followers or they just wrote a book that was famous.
yeah.
So then they started trying to do it. We're doing it, comedians. It's, we know we have to get funny, but we also know we got to get this other stuff. So we started doing what YouTubers were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course we did. Why wouldn't we?
Right.
But that's where you start to lose that credibility like you were talking about.
yeah.
And with us, it doesn't matter. We're telling jokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a fucking environmental scientist, I mean, I think about that little girl everyone's always mean to who wants to save the world.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Greta Thunberg.
Thunberg.
Yeah, I don't think it's her fault that everyone made her the face of it. It should have been someone who was 40 with a huge degree.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
But I don't know though, man. I think the young anger it does more.
Oh, we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
So
need
wait,
it.
why are people mad at her? Because she sounds insufferable, or
No, because
She's a girl and she's 17.
and because she speaks out.
She went up
against,
peace for it. Yeah.
she's like, "Stop killing the earth."
and they're like,
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
at first they were like,
Shut
"Oh,
up,
sweetie,
Bill."
we're not killing the earth. You seem to be confused." And then she like turned 18, and they were like, "She's an op. The CIA planted her."
Oh wow.
Or they're like, "This bitch is dumb. Look at her dumb face."
That's how stupid people are. Total Islamophobes, right? Absolute Islamophobes out here will not give up their dependence on gas. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, why do you think these people are so rich, dude? Like, dude, like you have no, you're so stupid. But you would totally, if you really want to just fuck over that whole community and crash them, fucking electric vehicles, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You will fucking crush their economy, dude.
Dude, what if-
But
But
we
no,
don't
stay
want to
dependent.
crush it. We want to take it.
No, but that's impossible, man. We ain't
I
gonna
agree.
take fucking.
I agree.
Fossil fuels, dude. What if that's
Yeah,
like
we're not-
what's the real motivator behind Elon Musk? Is he's just fucking
He just
super
hates
racist.
Muslims
He
that
just
bad.
hates
Yeah.
them. Dude, like
Yeah,
I would believe that
yeah.
more than anything.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll
Yeah.
fucking take your only industry from you. How about that?
Yeah.
And his dad
It's
tried to do
believable.
it to black people with diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fucking
Yeah.
De Beers cunt, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a De Beers cunt.
Yep. Sure was.
Well, fuck it. We solved it. Let's get out of here on that, dude. I think today's episode was rad. It was a little different. What's bringing you joy, Carmen? Figuring out Elon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Figuring out where to go on vacation. You guys have helped me out thoroughly. I think I'm going to go to Amsterdam.
Go to Amsterdam, dude. Go to the museums.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, Ireland. Go to Ireland. Go to the Obama gas station in Ireland, and then go to Amsterdam.
Maybe they named it after him because it's how they got the gas. We didn't think of
Oh,
that.
there you go.
It's like when somebody donates to the library, so they name it after him.
Jesus.
Damn, Obama
Christ,
won
that's
that war.
bleak.
We fucking got free gas in Ireland.
God. Oh,
Fucking
God.
Bama. OB.
All right, well,
Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Make sure
got
you
stuff to plug.
What?
Pluggy stuff.
Oh, yeah. CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. I'm probably currently on tour. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, please come see me. GatewayShow.com/shows or CarmenMorales.com/shows for the tour dates. I'll also be in Wesley Chapel at the end of May. So if I know anybody in Tampa, if anybody there is listening, please come out to that show. That's the show I need to sell tickets. But for this cannabis tour, probably right now, I'm probably still in Denver and Colorado, but I'm going to Minneapolis, Vancouver, Eugene, Oregon, Portland, Sacramento, Santa Rosa, California, and Mill Valley, which I don't think anybody is in that tax bracket, so don't worry about that one. No shade to you. They're just rich pricks. And I think that's it. I think that's
Hell yeah.
it.
We're gonna get
You might
an
Bill.
email
/Gravy
about
Baby
that.
Pod. What?
You, Mike and Billy?
Me, Mike Laser, and Billy Anderson. Yep.
I can promise you guys that's going to be an incredible tour. I can
It's gonna be
personally
fun.
guarantee that you're going to have a good time top to bottom. Go see Carmen
It is.
and those boys.
It will be fun.
Yeah. I will be with DJ in Bristol, Tennessee. That's not till June 21 and 22. Before that, I'll be with Trey Crowder in Virginia in early June. June 7th and 8th, I think it is. I'm going to be in Atlanta at the Laughing Skull, and I'll be in Nashville at the end of June. So mostly I'm just plugging June because I'm moving right now, and then in May I'll be around Knoxville. So, hey, if you're in Knoxville, I will not be billed on any of these shows. You know the kinds of shows where they don't bill people? It's like you're not allowed to tell. You don't tell who's going to be on it. I'll be on almost every one of those shows in Knoxville in May. So,
Hell yeah. Bye, guys. Thank you.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,